There is a stranger who comes to this village from the sea. He comes in the winter when people are hungry and brings fish. He comes on the king tide. That was last night. Arthur Curry. I hear you can talk to fish.
9 billion names of pod.
From Atlanta,
where our con is only 43 people per square foot. So suck it, San Diego.
it's the 9 billion names of pod with Dan Bauman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm feeling Hall H, but looking meeting room D. Yeah.
So let's talk about some stuff.
I'm full of energy and ready to go because I did not go to Comic-Con this year. How about you?
No, didn't go to Comic-Con.
No.
That happened last weekend, I guess, as of this recording.
Yeah.
And
a couple of nerds got together, played some D&D, watched a few trailers, and then went home.
That's all.
That's how it rolls.
Yeah, it wasn't hundreds of thousands of people. So they dropped a whole lot of nerdy stuff last weekend at the con. That was the best thing about when G4 was still a thing, because they would broadcast live from Comic-Con every year, and keep you up to the minute on stuff. Not that the internet is
a cultural wasteland. I mean, I'm sorry, what?
Not that it's a slow news service, but it was funny. I was teching a show last weekend, and I was flipping. I had a moment, so I was flipping through my phone, and somebody on Facebook was like, "Justice League trailer," and I was like, "Yeah, bullshit." And I was like, "Oh wait, it's Comic-Con. Maybe they did."
Yeah.
And when I got home, it was like, "Oh shit." So,
yep. And I think they've learned the lesson that no more of these exclusive Hall H things, and then they don't release it because they're filming it. So if you're putting it out at Comic-Con,
that's what happened with Suicide Squad.
You just got to put it out online,
Yep.
because otherwise you're gonna have these grainy, jumpy, bad audio.
I think there was one property that had a trailer that was exclusive that they haven't released on the internet, but I can't remember what it was. I thought I remember reading like this year, but everybody else was like, "Nah, that's stupid."
Well, no, there was one. There was an unreleased, section or episode of Rick and Morty that apparently was pretty hard R NC-17.
Oh, jeez.
That did not get official release, but I happen to have a copy of the fan shot video.
All right.
They hadn't colored it, so it's still in its beyond pencil drawing, but it's basically just
what are they going to do?
A line animation. I think they just showed that for shits and giggles.
Oh, okay.
Because it was apparently too rough. I haven't watched it. It's one of those things where I've saved it and I will get to it. It's a little too salty, shall we say, for Adult Swim, which is saying something, because
they go pretty far.
They go far-ish. For changing over from Bugs Bunny reruns to all of a sudden, dick jokes and, making fun of abortion and stuff like that.
Oh,
wow.
geez.
Talk about flipping the network right at Adult Swim time.
Right. Well, a lot of stuff got released. A lot of trailers got released this year, and we'll get to the big two. We'll get to the big Marvel DC fight later. But first, let's talk about some of the ones that they dropped. I think that the one that we both were like, meh, was the Kong Skull Island one.
I honestly have no interest, and really my interest is so low that it's not even, I'll catch it on DVD, not even that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care. And I love Sam Jackson and
John Goodman.
John Goodman seems good, and
Tom Hiddleston is
right. And of course they have the sexy girl, which of course will tame the beast. Blah 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 bullshit.
Brie Larson, so that's pretty good.
and
well, yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Now, if for those who know Brie Larson, she was an actress prior to Room.
Yes.
Have you seen Room?
I have not seen Room.
Good God, what a good film!
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty.
I mean, and she deserved that Oscar for that role. But she played in a series with Toni Collette called United States of Terror.
Oh, she was in that?
Right, she was the
okay.
daughter. And in one, I think it was season 2, I think it lasted 3 seasons. And I think in season 2, she actually dressed up as a model in some fictitious superhero that someone had created. And so that image of, and it was so when they announced her as Captain Marvel, I went, good,
Well, okay. Well, let's get into it then.
Suckered you into it.
Yeah. Well, the recount was a lot of people, or at least the reviews of the con, were they said that DC finally bested Marvel at some stuff this year.
Some stuff
because
I mean not out of sheer quantity.
No, just they what they had was way better than what Marvel had, because Marvel really didn't have much this year. There was no Guardians footage that I know of.
I think they just started shooting that, didn't they?
No, they're shooting. They're
shooting?
in production, but there's no Guardians 2 footage.
You know what they didn't have that I didn't see, and
What?
they wrapped. I mean, they've wrapped photography. They're in post right now. The Prometheus sequel.
Have they wrapped it? I didn't even
They've
know they
wrapped
started.
it. They started in April and wrapped in June.
I didn't know
So
that.
yeah,
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. I did, right, because I saw Danny McBride.
right. He's in the cast.
Yeah.
And from the description, apparently now it's gone through so many. It's called Alien Covenant, which it has been for a while.
Yeah.
It used to be called Paradise. And,
Yeah.
and Prometheus 2, Electric Boogaloo, and all this other bullshit. And Dr. Shaw was in it and not in it. Apparently, Naomi Rapace came in and did her limited shit in like a week and was out. So either she dies or she goes somewhere else, or
she shows up at the end,
or at the end, or who knows
Yeah.
what the deal is. But apparently, this ship sets down on a planet that's supposed to be uninhabited, but it's not, because David is there from the Prometheus. So
okay,
is he still ahead? She took the body in the took the body in the head. So maybe she, fixed it up, put it back together.
Maybe he fixed himself. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Right.
So that's I was really hoping for footage from that, because as awful and as many problems as I have with Prometheus, I'm fascinated by it. It was a gorgeous film to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they fix all the problems in the sequel,
because figuring out what it is.
Well, yes, they have, because Ridley Scott has said there's going to be 3 prequels. We have Prometheus, then we're switching to Alien Covenant, whatever the third one is, and the third one, he has stated, is going to back right up into LV-426 of the 1970, was it 8, 9, whatever, the original Alien film.
Yeah.
So. And he has put Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5 on hold while he does the Prometheus stuff, or at least the second Prometheus.
Yeah.
The sequel. So, or the second sequel prequel. It's hard to be a nerd these days.
It's hard to follow it all.
So, but I'm like, chop, because, Sigourney is still looking good and kicking ass, but she's closing in on 70.
Yeah.
And
he's Ridley Scott's 80
oh
something.
my God, yeah. I mean, and he's apparently executive producing or producing, I don't know which one it is, the Blade Runner sequel.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it, but that was a nice. I don't see why you need a sequel to Blade Runner.
Yeah, other than just to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those ones where it's like, oh, I'll see it if they do it, but I really don't think it should exist.
Yeah.
And if they bring Harrison Ford in, unless they do some serious fucking CGI, we have our answer. He was not a replicant, because replicants don't age, and Harrison Ford has fucking aged
a little bit.
Yeah,
yes.
Just a little bit,
just a hair,
just a couple crags here and there. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Right.
But anyway, back to
the whole Marvel thing was, they said that they released the Doctor Strange show, which was okay. It wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta see that. It was I think and from watching the trailer, I was like, we finally found something better Benedict Cumberbatch cannot do. He can't do a decent American accent. I thought it was pretty bad.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm looking forward to for Doctor Strange more than anything is Mads as the baddie.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. Never read a Doctor Strange comic. Never saw any. I think there was a small animated. I think there was a couple animated movies. Never have no no idea about any bit of it. So I'm sure the hardcore nerds are losing their minds over it.
One way or the other, like, oh wow, it's so good and faithful, or oh my gosh, this is an abomination.
Yeah, no. It's all positive on there.
Is that
the
the
from
feedback?
the nerds, from the real Doctor Strange nerds, but
And
he was almost as I don't want to say obscure, but almost as D-list as Guardians of the Galaxy was. So you never know.
You never know. He may rise up. I'm wondering, just based after seeing the trailer, whether the Venture Brothers character Morpheus, Dr.
Absolutely.
Morpheus, is a total
No question.
is a total ripoff of Doctor Strange.
No question at all. The cape and the eye
exactly.
of Agamotto. Yeah,
I'm
completely.
looking. I'm like, that's Dr. Morpheus. But okay,
That's exactly.
well,
right.
good. Well, that's what the Venture Brothers is. They take the stereotype and they, they rip it off, kind of like what DC did to Marvel. I'm sorry, with certain characters.
No, not always. Some of the other way around.
Some the other way around.
But that's always a
Hey, we need another water-based superhero. Let's
there's there's always that. There's the Namor Aquaman, the Green Arrow Batman, the Iron Man Batman, the Green Arrow Hawkeye kind of thing.
Right.
But Marvel, they released the good stuff they did release was the Netflix stuff, like the Luke Cage one trailer is pretty fucking great.
Hey, any trailer that uses a classic ODB track, I am fucking there.
And that guy playing Luke Cage, Mike, I can't remember his name. I thought he was fantastic
And Jessica
Jessica
Jones.
Jones. So, giving him his own thing is the thing. Now, all the nerds have been like, oh, they're leading up to the Defenders. Oh, they're going to lead up because they're like the low end Avengers. I mean, Marvel was really big on team ups. Really, 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 really big on team ups. Fantastic Four.
Well, you've taken the time to develop these characters. Yeah, team them up.
It's a shared
let
universe,
some interplay happen.
Right,
well,
and
of course.
I think DC did beat them to that. I think the Batman and Superman, like the Justice League, was in like the 50s. I think before Marvel.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, the Super Friends, that was pretty good. So they also released the Iron Fist trailer, and in the comics there was a run of Power Man and Iron Fist, so it was Luke Cage and Danny Rand running around together.
So what's Iron? I mean, judging by the trailer, it looks like he fell in some snow and some Asian people raised him to do martial arts.
It's kung fu. I mean, it's pretty much kung fu. It's martial artists. I believe. I haven't read too much of that, but. Yeah, it looked okay. I mean, they didn't show much. I think they're still in production, and from what I understand, we're not getting any new Jessica Jones.
I know. I was waiting for that. Like, where the fuck is the second season of Jessica?
2017.
Well, hey, you know what? We got to keep in mind, if they want to take an extra year to do it right, then
do it.
We will grudgingly say, please do it.
Yeah,
but we'll be
Daredevil as well. We're not getting. Yeah, well, I mean, we just got it, but I mean,
See, that's the problem with the binge watching. They drop all 13 episodes. You binge watch it over the weekend. Like, when's it coming out? When's the next one? Like, dude, we just spent 9 months and another 3 in post. Fuck you.
Yeah, it takes.
We'll get it to you when you get it.
That's my problem with streaming, with the binge. It's even the stuff that they drop all down. I don't like watching it all in one shot because then it's over. It's gone.
But when you've got all those episodes of BoJack Horseman just like right there, you gotta watch it.
2 or 3 at a time is good.
No, you just got you can't munch. Was it Doritos? Munch all you want, we'll make more. I'm munching through all 13 and like, so start making more, motherfucker. I need my BoJack.
Well, that's the other thing. The problem that Marvel had this year around was that they announced Captain Marvel, as you said. Brie Larson is going to be Captain Marvel.
I've loved her for I mean, she's quality actress,
fantastic actress,
easy on the eyes,
Oscar winner.
She's just
she's going to be an Oscar winning superhero.
Yeah,
that's the first one of those. Well, I think no, Affleck.
Yeah,
Affleck beat her.
Yeah, but not for acting.
That's true.
She got it for acting.
That's true.
But that's okay.
He's got 2, but not for not for acting.
That's right. Yeah, directing and writing.
Yeah.
So oh my gosh, if he's able to score an acting win for Batman,
he won't. But for something else, he might.
Yeah, but
That would be insane.
That would be going against everything we've ever known. Unless Batman fights a battle with cancer and realizes his inner truth. Like, all right, then we'll give.
He finally deals with his parents. He goes to therapy and deals with his parents.
Yeah, exactly.
But the problem was they announced it, and it was like. What it was the big Hall H Marvel panel they had. They had everybody there. Everybody who was there, and they said,
really,
yeah.
Some of the people that weren't there were actually not there.
Well, all the Marvel people who were there. I'm kind of tired. So the
shut up, Weisenheimer. Butter your necktie.
But basically, they had all everyone who was doing panels there, and they said, this feels a little incomplete. We should bring if we're all going to be up here, let's bring everybody up here. How about Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson?
Oh, they brought in Brie Larson.
They brought her, and she did a walk-on.
Nice.
And that's pretty good. The only problem was DC dropped the Wonder Woman trailer, which...
Let's talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yes, finally.
I mean... The lasso is kicking ass.
Yes.
The sword.
She's got a different shield than she did in Batman v Superman. So
this is
an earlier.
This is a quote unquote maybe prequel to that. This is her origin story.
Yeah.
And we get her in World War I, not World War II.
We get to see Themyscira. We get to see Hippolyta, her mom. We get to see
see Captain
fight.
Kirk
Yeah, there was a little too much of Chris Pine in that for me. I was like, we don't need so much of him. Let's keep it on her. That we finally get a female superhero, and I think she was one of the better parts of Batman of Dawn of Justice.
Oh, absolutely.
And she looks like she's, I like the fact that she's got kind of a weird accent. I like the fact...
It's hard to place. She's Israeli.
Yes.
But the accent she has, I haven't heard her speak in interviews, so I don't know if that is, she's just doing
that's how,
that's her voice?
That's her voice.
So that hard to place accent...
It adds to it.
She's obviously easy on the eyes, but kick-ass of, epic proportions, so that little something for the guys, little something for the gals.
As Wonder Woman is, and, The one correction or improvement they made, even though time-wise I guess it wouldn't work, was I like the fact that her armor is actually red and blue and white now and gold, as opposed to that weird kind of dark sepia that everything in Dawn of Justice had.
Well, everything looks like it was covered with, 10 years of smog residue.
Well, it was dark, it was gritty, it was real. No, it wasn't. It was wrong, and they finally upped the game and made it like, well, if we make her look like the comic book, it'll be better.
Yeah.
So they snuck that out, or they dropped that hard, which was great.
That for my money, I think is probably the best trailer to come out of Comic-Con.
Probably, or the most exciting thing.
Maybe Lego Batman is a close
Lego
second.
Batman destroyed me. I mean, the Lego movie kills me. It makes me laugh as hard as it makes me cry. It's so unbelievable.
And I'm so glad that they're allowing Lego Batman to exist simultaneously with the other Batman stuff going on.
Yeah,
they're like, we can't dilute our brand. Like, it's totally different. It's a joke.
Yeah,
it's a comedy, and they obviously got it and they understood. And if anything, the success of Batman v Superman, at least box office wise, we won't say creatively or critically,
right,
and the upcoming Justice League,
right.
That raises Batman's profile even higher and acts as publicity for your Lego Batman in a roundabout way. You have full 360 degrees of Batman awareness.
Well, here's the thing. I think it went the other direction, which was the Lego movie did so well that Lego already had the rights. Lego has the rights to freaking everything. Almost more. The only one that almost has as many rights is that PopCap stuff. The little figures with the big heads.
PopCaps?
Yeah, the little pop. I'll show you a picture of them. They're these figures that they're like little squat figures, and they have these big giant heads.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen.
Yeah, they have the license to everything. Everything in the world, like sitcoms and comic books and TV shows and like real people, and it's unbelievable. There's thousands of them you can buy.
If I want to get a full set of characters from NBC's Manimal, I'm getting them.
I wouldn't be surprised. You can get all of Big Bang Theory. You can get all of stuff like that. But Lego, I
My
think.
toys, I do not tread in mediocrity. Only the best. I want my Firefly set. I want
Yes.
my Aliens, plural.
I think there are those. That's the crazy thing about it.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got the whole Wizard of Oz set, strangely enough.
Really? I never would have guessed.
I've got a Lego TARDIS. I mean, I've got a Pop TARDIS, and I don't have any doctors yet, but she didn't know which one to get me. So, it's that big and everything. But I think Lego already had the rights to it, so they're like, yeah, we're just, the Will Arnett version of Batman was so popular in the Lego movie. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it, and it'll be able to crank out a sequel even quicker.
Spin-off.
And it looks freaking hilarious.
And we have to mention that it has probably the best line of any trailer. Like,
almost in any Batman movie.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, you live in Bruce Wayne's basement? No, Bruce Wayne lives in Batman's attic.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I never
nice.
thought of it that way.
Of course.
And finally, that was Michael Cera as Robin, and he's finally like acting and doing something different.
Right, and not doing that schlubby like, yeah, well, okay, well,
Okay. And he's great at that. And he, got away from it a little bit in Scott Pilgrim, but I mean, I didn't.
He didn't get that far away from it in Scott
It's true.
Pilgrim.
That's true. But I didn't realize it was him. I knew it was him, but I was like, if I hadn't known already, I wouldn't have
placed it as
him.
Well, good. I mean, good for him, because that, that kind of schlubby teenager who's, 17 and acts like he's 45, 65, I mean, that ain't going to last too long, because he's going to age out visually.
Well, he keeps doing the same thing over and over.
And, hey, certain one-note actors find, Jack Nicholson, I've
Yeah.
said,
Spacey.
he is kind of a one-note actor, but
Yeah.
god damn,
But
what a good note that
That's
is.
what you hire him for.
And when you plug it,
Yeah.
when that one note works in your show, your movie or whatever,
And it might be easier to do that in voiceover, to completely change your thing
Oh,
and
of
be
course.
whatever. He's just,
Yeah.
standing in a room.
I can imagine what some of the expressions and articulations that are going on for people in the VO booth.
Yeah.
It looks like they're spasming because but the voice, what they get out of it vocal
It
wise
helps,
is
yeah,
exactly what you need. So
Now, the one that I'm really excited about, as much as Wonder Woman almost, is Justice League. Just because it looks like they actually realized how much, or they took into account the amount of flack they got for Dawn of Justice. There's jokes in it. It's brighter. They a little bit, but
not too much brighter.
No, it's not Iron Man.
For me, the first, last, and end of the Justice League trailer is the introduction of Aquaman.
Yes, yeah.
Aquaman.
Yep.
Holy fuck!
They have been, like I said, trying to make Aquaman less of a joke, because he always has kind of been, the
It's like someone's robbing the First National Bank. Is there a river or an ocean nearby? No. See you later, Aquaman. Bye.
In one of the comics, I've probably told this story before. In one of the Justice League comics, Ralph Dibny, who is the elongated man, he's there's 3 or 4 Plastic Man kind of guys, and he's one of them, and he's kind of a jerk, but Aquaman was complaining about something, and he said, "Don't worry, we're bound to run into a giant squid at some point." They all know. So they have been trying. Like in the '90s, they started a new run where Aquaman shows up, bare-chested, long mane of hair, a beard, and a hook. Like his hand was cut off, and he's got a hook. So they're like, "We're gonna make him an act. We're gonna." Stop making him a joke.
This one, the Jason Momoa Aquaman, is more reminiscent of a very pissed off Poseidon.
Yeah, exactly.
And
here's the thing: he's the ruler of the oceans.
Right. It doesn't mean he can never get out of the ocean.
Right.
He could beat the shit out of
But
anybody on
he
land.
rules 3/4 of the earth.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing.
It's like, when you think about it, he's kind of more powerful than just about any other super person.
In a way.
I guess in territory that they kick ass
right.
in, I suppose.
He's the king for a reason.
Right.
The conflict I've had.
There we go.
Here we go. Because it's triple conflict because when they cast Ezra Miller as the Flash and didn't use Grant Gustin from the TV show The Flash.
They never do that. They never put the TV people that already have a fan base into the show. I don't fucking understand.
Marvel is doing it, though.
With who?
With more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sam Jackson has been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Nick Fury.
But was he Nick Fury on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then start? No. I'm talking about you establish a character on the TV. Television show.
Yes.
And like, oh, you're doing a big film version of this or in that universe? Hey, look, now you could, no, we're going to cast somebody else. Like, what the fuck?
They have justified it and made a loophole in it. Because in The Flash, on TV, they have established the whole multiverse thing.
Right.
And they did it in a pretty cool way because Barry Allen, he's able to run through, like he runs fast enough to run through the barriers or whatever.
Right.
And the first couple times he did it, well, the second time he did it, he sees flashes of different things, pardon the pun. But one of the things...
No, not pardon.
One of the things they showed was a picture of the John Wesley Shipp Flash show from the 90s. And shows from, and then they snuck in Supergirl there, which was on CBS before they did the crossover. So...
Well, and now is going
to be on the CW, so they're going to crisscross all that stuff.
Right.
But here's the other part of the conflict was I've been so, angry about that. Then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, God damn it, I like him.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it, that was a great scene.
I need friends.
Just the fact, just that he, Bruce swings around and throws the batarang at him, and he just kind of, stops and looks at it. And then you see the Speed Force, and he looks at it flying by, and he realizes, that's a batarang. That must be Batman.
Whoa.
Wow. And then he just plucks it out of the air,
Yeah.
So I was like, damn it, I'm going to like it. Okay, so...
But I would ascribe your enjoyment of that more to the writing and filming than the acting. Because
no, he was good. But, I mean, yes, the writing, what they did with it.
They set that up
It was
very nicely.
It was a really good scene. And I thought he was good. I wish it was Grant Gustin, but that might have been hard to weave into the TV show. I don't know. It's nerd problems 101.
Right. Now we talked about Jessica Jones not coming back right away.
Yeah.
And we talked about we just got our Daredevil, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
They spilled the Luke Cage thing. And we talked about the trailer with the ODB, but I mean, he's just it's not even like with Deadpool. Ow, I'm being shot. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. But he's going to be fine. Luke Cage is like, come at me, bro. Oh, ow, you're shooting me 30 times. Whoops. I'm going to crush your head now. I like that.
He had
just ripping off doors.
He had one of the best scenes in Jessica Jones one of the best scenes in Jessica Jones was when he was in the bar and somebody, either they tried to rob it or whatever, and bar fight breaks out and guys are coming after him, and he not only was he just looked bored by the whole thing, disinterested, I can't believe I've got to beat the shit out of you,
kind of like after
folding laundry.
Neo realizes he's the one, and he looks away with one hand, going, "I'm now kicking your ass, whoop-de-fucking-do."
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, your violence bores me.
It's like, you're wasting my time.
Right, exactly. Do you even lift, brah?
Yeah,
do you lift?
Exactly, right.
Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. I want to talk about a couple things that weren't necessarily directly addressed at Comic-Con, but I'm going to start with one that did. That was 30-year anniversary. They got everybody back for Aliens. Everybody.
Did they?
Including Newt. And James Cameron was there.
Really?
I mean...
At Comic-Con?
At Comic-Con.
I didn't see any of that.
They got everybody. Paxton and everybody else.
What's her name? Vasquez? Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah, they got everybody.
Wow.
And, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That is the best action film / sci-fi. It's not really it's sci-fi, it's fantasy,
It's everything.
action,
Yeah.
it's everything. And as much as I grumble because I think James Cameron's a dick, god damn, what a good fucking film.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 Terminators, they're okay films, Cameron, yeah, right, small hand applause.
Yeah.
Donald Trump hand size applause for that. But Aliens, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
the best genre, as we've said. I mean, we did the whole episode on it, but I mean,
yeah.
it's a sequel that flipped the original, because the original is a horror movie. Alien is a horror movie, and this became an action movie.
It became an action film with exactly.
You know,
It's just
and that's their genius of it.
And found out that Hudson, Bill Paxton's character, that whole game over, man, totally ad-lib.
Was it?
Yeah. And I'm like, that's perfect. And, it's just like, all right, Cameron, you did a good script, but some of the good lines, the actors came up with.
Yeah. And the fact that he allowed that and left it in is...
I don't think he was quite as much of a dick at that point yet. His ego hadn't swollen quite so badly.
Right.
And apparently, I learned that it was shot over at Pinewood in the UK, in England, and over there, the local people were like, "Who's this motherfucker?" Well, the Terminator hadn't come out there, so his cred hadn't been established in England yet, and it got so bitchy, terse. I don't know what the word is. He fired the cinematographer. And replaced him, and that snapped the rest of the crew in line, because apparently they were not too pleased with him, I guess.
Well, there was, Mark Hamill tells stories about the same thing when they were filming Star Wars, was that the crew was like, what is this? Like the crew and the extras like, what is this nonsense? What's that big dog walking around? What's she got on her head? So that must just be an England thing.
It could be. It's like, oh, look, the Yanks are overthinking.
It's either that or they're all working class, Cockneys. Like, what's this nonsense?
What's all this then?
Yeah.
Because that's how they all talk.
They do.
Every single one of them.
I've seen it on TV.
So without exception. One thing I want to divert real quick before jumping back in. Motherfucking Leslie Jones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
God damn, I hate fucking people.
People suck.
Good God. All right. Is she a supermodel? No. Do you personally find her attractive? Perhaps not. But does that mean that she is beneath contempt? What the fuck,
that's
man?
That's not even the worst.
It's just like
horrendous racist.
Oh, it's the
comments.
racism, and she doesn't look right. I'm like, fuck you, who doesn't look right? I'm just.
She was fantastic in that movie.
She did fine, and they didn't write it embarrassing like she's
No.
Here is the black character. We'll plug in the blackness here.
Yeah.
No, she was an integral part of the cast. She kicked ass.
She's funny.
And yeah, exactly. And I just got to get that off my chest. I mean, good God.
Yeah,
There's so many things to pick on people for. If she did bad acting, call her out on her bad acting. But she didn't act bad. Just because she's kind of a butch-looking female in black, you go all over about with your racist bullshit. But it's not coming from a lot of the nerds, I don't think, because they're more. I like
it
to
was
think
like it was Twitter.
They're more enlightened than that shit. They don't, they grew up looking at Ripley and going, a woman can kick fucking ass, and they're not the people that are bitching about that.
Yeah, and the only reason we didn't talk about it on our Ghostbusters episode was that all that stuff kind of blew up like right after we recorded.
Yeah,
because we saw that movie like Saturday and recorded Sunday.
Well, opening weekend.
Yeah, we saw
it. And it was like Monday when all of a sudden it's like, oh, Leslie Jones.
Right.
I didn't even bother to read any of the stuff because I don't want to hear about it. I just hear it described as, racial. It's like, I don't need to read that kind of crap.
I looked at some of them, but it was just, despicable is not a strong enough word for the way that lady was
Folks,
treated.
let's not Trumpify everything. Let's not take it down to its common, lowest, meanest.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to put that out there because that's been a little burrow in my soul for the last couple of weeks.
I'm glad you brought it up because I feel like it seemed like we missed out on that because of the timing of the episode.
We mismentioned it because it hadn't happened until after we recorded. So So I'm just going to put it out there. If you're one of those people that feels like that about, stop listening now.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Delete it.
Leave the podcast.
Unsubscribe.
Never listen. You are
Yeah.
forbidden from liking us ever again.
Yeah.
Just like Johnny Marr tells David Cameron, you're not allowed to like the Smiths. You don't like the Smiths. You can't. Fuck off. Anyway, regaining my composure. Dear God, we're getting more Black Mirror.
I saw that.
Black fucking Mirror. Now, after this next season happens, we're doing a 2-parter, and we're talking nothing but Black Mirror.
That's fine.
And we're going to go episode by episode because it is, I mean, you know what makes me happy more than anything? Quality fucking writing.
Yep.
And I mean, that has the most I mean, they could have put in crap actors and just the concept and the dialogue would have carried it, but they got good actors, and the script of the first, I think there's only 5 episodes. They've had 2 seasons of 2 episodes apiece. Now, come on, England, we're with you on the less is more, but 2 for a season?
That's not a season.
You motherfuckers! That's tickling my balls and then running away. Come on here, let's get somewhere. Yeah, they did 2 seasons of 2 episodes apiece, I believe. Maybe one was 3, and then they had a Christmas episode. Right. And because you know the Brits, they love their Christmas episodes.
They do, yeah.
That's a tradition over there that we don't really have, because usually around mid-December, first run television shows,
It's in the middle of the season.
they fuck off.
Yeah.
And they don't come back until January.
They do a cheesy Christmas episode.
Yeah, in the middle of December.
Yeah, but the seasons overlap.
Right,
but
but the Christmas episodes in England, they debut
Special.
on Christmas.
Yeah.
And they're special. Like if your show's an hour program, you might get a 2-hour Christmas special or a 90-minute. It's a huge thing. Apparently over in England, after you open your presents, you watch like 5 or 6 of your favorite shows that have brand new, super awesome episodes done just for Christmas. Yeah. I like that concept.
In the nerd parlance, I mean, it's so important that's normally when they have the Doctor regenerate on Doctor Who. Is the Christmas episode or the new Doctor take over? Usually, it's usually the end of the series.
He either regenerates at the end of the series, and this is his transition episode, or maybe he's traveling.
But it's usually his first episode of the new Doctor is the Christmas special.
Right. And we're not going to have no Doctor Who this year.
No Doctor Who this year.
I had heard that he was going to do it, but then
they're filming.
He wasn't.
They're in production. I know that.
Yeah,
but
right. But I was hoping that there would be, a little, and who knows, maybe
maybe there will be a special,
a something at DragonCon. But you know what? If they didn't do something for Comic-Con,
no. Well, there's nothing to do.
They're fairly close together.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
So,
we are getting, just as an aside to DragonCon, we are getting at least 3 companions at DragonCon this year.
Appearing
at DragonCon, yes.
Is my girlfriend one of them?
I believe so. You have quite a few. Are you talking Karen Gillan?
Of course,
yes.
There is one and only.
Yes, Karen Gillan is going to be there.
Very good.
Arthur Darvill, Rory Williams, her husband as well, and
I don't acknowledge his existence.
Oh, you gotta love Rory.
He's fabulous. Yeah. It's just in the bizarre fantasy where Karen comes over to my house, hangs out, and falls in love, and then we get married and have kids. Yeah, Rory doesn't exist.
But the companion I'm most excited.
Martha Jones.
Better.
Oh, come on, Martha Jones. Everyone pisses on Martha.
No,
Jones.
I love her.
I
think she's fantastic. I thought I always think she got a raw deal.
She did get a raw deal.
She ain't gonna be there.
Oh God. Please don't say Billie Piper.
Actually, she was, but she canceled. But that's not who I'm talking about.
I'm sorry to people out there. I'm done with Billie Piper. Done. As far as Doctor Who goes. Now, she was on, what the hell was it? I'm drawing a complete blank. Penny Dreadful.
Oh, that's right.
And she did a fabulous job. Yeah. And she wasn't Rose. So,
good.
Rock on.
Good.
I don't want any more Billie Piper in Doctor Who. That's just my personal thing. I'm done with it.
Okay, I think I've misled you on which companion I'm talking about because it's not a strict companion.
Oh, is it the little girl?
No.
The companion strict.
No.
I don't know. Just spill it.
Alex Kingston.
Well, that's not a companion.
Well,
you can't call
okay.
River Song is not a companion.
Okay, fine, but she's going to be there, and
Of
I'm
course.
going to meet her.
Oh, okay. Now, most people, at least in America, know her first
From ER.
From ER.
Yeah.
So when all of a sudden she popped up in Doctor Who, I'm like, I didn't even know she was British because she, Well, no, hold it. No, I did because she was British in ER too. She had the accent.
Yeah, I think
there,
she
too.
did. I think she did.
What was I thinking? I can't remember what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Too many drugs.
So going from good stuff to kind of baffling, not so good looking stuff, a trailer for a new King Arthur movie.
Good God.
And
you know what? I'm watching, and in the first 30 seconds, I
Yeah,
went,
this is hilarious.
Who the fuck directed this? Guy Ritchie? And then it turns out it is Guy Ritchie.
A Guy Ritchie film.
I mean, it has all that patois feeling. He's not doing the rhyming slang. He's not doing snatch or lock stock.
No, but you can't.
But there's a feel. There's a feel to the dialogue and the pacing. I went, this feels like Guy Ritchie, and then it is.
You can't do King Arthur with steady cams, body mounted steady cams running.
Hey, you can't do King Arthur with Queen's We Will Rock You, but they did.
Yeah.
So I'm all for innovation when it works.
Right. This doesn't look like it works.
Doesn't look like it's going to work. Now it has
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, who was supposed to be my Christian. Remember, he was supposed to be.
That's right.
John Oliver, not my Christian. I know who they got to be the 50 Shades guy. There's going to be another one of those films.
Oh yeah.
I thought there was one book. Apparently, there's like
there's
four
three.
of them. Three of them?
No. Well, okay. I'm embarrassed that I know this, but
I'm embarrassed that you know this.
But it's part of the nerdy culture. Yes, it was a trilogy. It was 3 books that were all awful, and then I swear this is true, and I cannot. It's brilliant, but it's unbelievable. She wrote the first book again from the girl's perspective, or from his perspective, or something. Like she flipped the perspective. It's like, that's kind of a cool idea.
Now that's kind of innovative and interesting. I've got no second act, so I'm just going to retread the first book. But it's a concept, kind of like what, I can't remember her name, but she told the story of Gone with the Wind from the perspective of one of the slaves, and called it The Wind Done Gone. And got sued by Margaret Mitchell, and I think she prevailed in the author who did the twist on it.
Okay,
and told the story that happens in Gone with the Wind from the perspective of the slaves.
Okay,
and that's an interesting concept. And of course, at that point, how many classic novels can you go? All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's tell it from this side.
Yeah.
And hey, let's add some zombies or some vampires into these stories.
Yeah, they keep doing that. Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? That's fun. It's not like, well, there goes Pride and Prejudice. I guess that book just doesn't exist anymore, just like the Ghostbusters.
Right.
Well, the original Ghostbusters is now destroyed because they remade it. Like, no.
Well, it's the plot of Wicked. It's the plot of the Broadway show Wicked, and the novel of the same name, which
which apparently is also slowly heading to film, which is going to be fucking huge.
Finally, yes, 2019. They already got a release date, and it's like,
got
okay,
it?
we're really going to do it this time.
We've pegged a release date, so go ahead, come at me, bruh. Put anything you want against it, because we will destroy you.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, what they said was on that thing was that they were waiting. They're like, we're selling 2,500 tickets a night at a gazillion dollars a ticket. We'll wait. We'll hold off until
Yeah, but if you are they going to try to get was it
Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth
in the film?
My theory.
Have they aged out of it? I've never seen it. All I know is it's something about defying gravity and a sister and the goblin or something.
They have aged out of the high school version because it's them in high school basically, or in magic school. And what they need to do is they need cameos, like telling the story from the top down, like the flashback, and then have other actors. Have Leah Michele play Elphaba, and any number of Megan Hilty or whoever who can sing.
I know who Leah Michele is. I have no idea who Megan Hilty is.
She blew up. She was on that awful Deborah Messing show, the Bombshell. No, that's the name of the thing. Where they were making the Broadway show about Marilyn Monroe.
Yes,
she was the blonde on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was a
And
big.
that wasn't such a. I enjoyed that show.
Okay, it was all right.
It
yeah.
had its, but
and she was she blew up when they did 9 to 5 the musical. When Dolly wrote 9 to 5, she played the Dolly Parton role, and she was, I think she won a Tony for it, to be honest. So she's really good, and she could pull off Glenda. She might be aging out of the high school version of Glenda, but. So it's the same thing, flipping.
Well, when they finally got around to doing Phantom of the Opera, everyone was like, Michael Crawford, like, he's aged out of that by about 20 years.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's fucking awful. Ooh.
It's
Gerard Butler, too.
Yeah. It's beautiful to look at in places, and the most glorious place to look at is Emmy Rossum. Who is another one of my future wives in this horrible, deluded world in which I live, which the most attractive actresses and singers in the world will someday be my bride.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. A little bit of an announcement that was made prior to Comic-Con, and I don't think it was really reflected in any way at Comic-Con, but we have our young Han Solo.
Yes.
We have him.
Alden Ehrenreich, I want to say?
Einreich. Yeah. And it was written, are you ready for who wrote the script?
Lawrence Kasdan.
And?
I don't remember.
His son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, that's how they got him on board for Force Awakens.
Oh, he wanted to do.
He's like, I don't know if I want to do another one. He's like, you know what? They were like, well, what do you want? What do you want? And he was like, I don't know. Can we do a young Indiana Jones, young Han Solo? He's like, they're like, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. So that just huge.
And we already have a release date, May 25th, 2018.
They're doing the 25th, huh? They're doing
it.
The real Star Wars Day, you nerds. This May the 4th thing is cute, but it's not right.
It's not correct, yes.
That's my hill to die on.
So
right
I'm still waiting for confirmation that the third film is going to be Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's the huge...
They have to. If they do something else, it better be so spectacular that people go, we can wait on Boba Fett. This is more important. I can't imagine what that would be.
It's hard to say. I would like...
I mean, when they said it's going to be called Rogue One, I went, what the fuck is that? It's like, okay, I get it now. Good. Because...
You know what would be good? You know what would be good? Put something in that same timeline, but show how Leia gets into the rebellion. Like a young Leia movie would be pretty hip.
That could be interesting.
That could be really hip. I mean, that's kind of the Rogue One thing, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's telling. Well, it's telling the story that leads up to when she gets the plans.
Yes, exactly.
So, but what I'm more concerned about, James Earl Jones. He is not a young gentleman anymore.
Yeah.
He hopefully has another 20, 30 years of life left.
Hopefully,
Hopefully. Utilize his glorious Darth Vader voice in the timeline where it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, going forward past Force Awakens, never. No. Although now there's the conspiracies. There's a conspiracy about who Snoke is. Snoke. Sorry, Snoke.
I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it. I've read a bunch of them, but I don't.
But not that it would involve James Earl Jones with this thing. But I mean, we're going to get a touch. They didn't say he's going to be in there very much, but we're going to get a touch of Darth Vader in Rogue One.
Yeah, and it's James Earl Jones,
right? And part of me goes, what happened between and where are those plans you intercepted? Yeah. A lot of shit happened there because people are scared of this guy. Yeah. He killed a bunch of younglings, so he's no stranger to being evil as fuck. We need for lack of a better term, young Darth Vader film.
Yeah, or just a middling Vader
film. Or just something that shows him...
Just him in the armor killing people.
Kicking ass, doing the things where he has this unlimited power, and he just, and let's face it, I mean, I don't know who was in the suit for the... it was Prowse. His sword fight
he did not do the sword fighting.
It was somebody else.
Yeah, there was somebody else who did the sword fighting.
Okay.
One of the sword masters was in the Vader suit.
Some of it was just it seemed I don't know. I wasn't.
Well, that was kind of the thing. They said, he's one of George's justifications for the prequels. He said, we finally get to see Jedi, full strength Jedi as opposed to a broken down old man and a guy who's half machine.
Right.
So that's kind of what I was like. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And a Muppet.
And a Muppet.
And don't forget the Muppet.
The Muppet, yeah.
So I would, if they said a young Darth Vader film and not a Boba Fett till later, I would say yes, fine, that's good. I can go for that. Use James Earl Jones, make it like, I hate to say it, but make it an R. Make him fucking evil.
They said his scenes in Rogue One are rough. Like at least
I hope so.
Like hardcore, like
good,
killing people from like long distances. And
I mean, I like
he's
that.
supposed to be scary.
Yeah,
make
exactly.
him scary again. But James Earl Jones is back on. Like I said, they brought him in on the Star Wars Rebels cartoon,
right?
And he was terrifying, like terrifying. just just the visage of him, and the little bit of his voice that they used, he was like just dead cold, like no emotion. It was so
a lot better than it could have been. Say, where are those plans you intercepted?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not going to use your voice.
We're not going to.
What? Oh
man.
When you think of the first three, oh man, when you think of the first three Star Wars films, the New Hope, Empire, Jedi, how bad was him in there? He chokes a couple guys and has a couple. The evil is more in his presence and tone. It's not in him actually. That's someone who's like evil emeritus. Like you've done your super evil. Now you're just kind of doing a bit of evil, and people are scared because they know what you can do and what you have done. Where's that?
Yeah.
I want to see, mid Clone War, or because let's face it, the Clone War has. No, it's not. The Clone War did not start there. The Clone War didn't start to the end of the third film. That was the robot army.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Roger. Those aren't clones. Those are robots.
No, the clone. Well, it was the other way
clones
around.
Was execute order Blabbity Blue 66 or whatever, and that's when all of a sudden, like, hey, we're all clones and we're doing our stuff, and now we're going to do the battle.
And the stormtroopers and everything.
Right, exactly.
Well, if you think about it, going back to your other point, Tarkin was more evil than Vader.
He blew up a whole goddamn planet.
Whole goddamn planet.
Just
in front of one of the inhabitants. Like,
right.
All right, tell me where it is. No, you're lying to me. Should blow it up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's we'll get into more. I really would like to see a young Tarkin and see what they do with that.
Yeah, I think. Well, we may get some of him in Rogue One too. And that was the other.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That was the strange thing. We did not get another Rogue One trailer at a Comic-Con.
That is true, because that's coming at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it's not like, we don't have anything ready. Like, yeah, you kind of do.
I guess they're waiting for like October.
They may be tying it to other properties that are coming down the line from Disney.
You've got Rebels season 3.
No, I'm talking about let's go see Suicide Squad, or for example. But I mean, whatever.
It'll be Disney, yeah.
Right. Whatever Disney has coming down the pipe, like, all right, we're going to drop one there to rate, because there are some people like, I'm on the fence about going to see whatever. Oh, there's going to be a new stuff. Fuck it, let's go see it.
That's pretty interesting,
and it's that's the little press and marketing bean that lives in my brain.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So. The last thing I want to talk about, unless you got something else after it, are you familiar with the author Roger Zelazny?
I know the name, yes.
He's the one who wrote the Amber series.
Yes, I don't think I've ever read any of them.
Which, according to rumor, was the inspiration that George R. R. Martin drew upon to write the Song of Ice and Fire, which became Game of Thrones.
When did he write those books?
Roger Zelazny?
No, Martin. Just out of curiosity.
No fucking idea.
Okay, because I don't know. Have they been around for 20 years, or have they?
It's been around for a little bit.
Okay,
I mean, he's notorious apparently for making people wait.
Okay. Well, I know that, but I didn't know. For some reason, I was like, have these books been around for 25 years that I never heard of? But anyway, Roger Zelazny. Go on.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, Zelazny wrote the Amber series of books, and then died of cancer.
Oh.
So there's a start and a stop of the series now. other people have picked up. I think his son took a stab at some of it, but the core Amber stuff, which I started reading in like 4th or 5th grade, because my mother had a friend who worked at, shout out to Mike Johns, B. Dalton Bookseller.
Hey, there you go.
And back in the old days, when a book doesn't sell, you don't send the book back. You just rip the cover and you send the cover back. And that tells them that you didn't actually sell it and are pocketing the money. Well, then there's all these books that are perfectly good to read, just missing the cover. Yeah. And I got the boxed set of the first Amber novels.
Nice.
And reading those was a revelation. I'm sorry, folks. Game of Thrones is for fucking pussies compared to Amber. Seriously.
Okay.
A lot more magic and a lot more, just more.
Okay.
I need to reread it. I haven't read it since, I think the last time I read it was maybe in college, maybe. It's been a while. It is of epic proportion, and if they can get the funding on the scale of Game of Thrones, money-wise, and let's face it, Game of Thrones is hugely successful. I'm guessing a lot of people are like myself, have never read the books and enjoy the show immensely.
Yeah, I've been kind of torn, because I have not done either, strangely enough, and I've been kind of torn on which role to take, like to read the books and then see the show, or watch the show and then read the books. I kind of want to watch the show first.
My opinion is watch the show first, because from what I understand, having not read the books but having been told that there's a lot of stuff that's different in the show, there's a lot of stuff that's left out that's in the books. So basically watching the show gets you familiar with the land and some things that happen, but by the time you read them, it'll be like having read the Cliff Notes. You got some high points.
Books. I've seen
they're doorstops.
Yeah.
They're lethal weapons in 48 states. I mean, you could kill somebody. It's like the the expanded edition. Yeah, just like holy crap. Whereas the Amber series, the entire series fits in a rather thick paperback or trade cover. So it's easily digestible. I used to draw my own trump cards. For people who know Amber, you travel by Trump. There's just so much shit going.
Yeah,
Trump cards, not Donald. Oh dear fucking God.
He ruins everything.
But that apparently is being brought to television by some of the creative people behind Game of Thrones, because they've announced that Game of Thrones ends at Series 8. And it's going to be, they got 15 or 16 episodes left to stretch across 2 truncated seasons. So that's it. It's on its way out. Khaleesi or whoever the fuck is going to get on the throne. I don't know who's going to get on the throne.
I couldn't possibly.
For all we know, it could be a White Walker sits there.
I don't know of what you're speaking.
They're badass.
I know that.
Their asses are bad. Stay away from their asses, because they're bad.
Well, speaking of carrying on authors who have passed, Dirk Gently is coming to BBC America. Well, BBC and BBC America.
Please tell me that it is a script that was penned by our good fellow before he passed away.
I do not believe it is. Because he had started writing...
Or penned by Neil Gaiman, maybe?
I don't know. That would be fantastic.
I mean, that's the thing. When something's announced, really the first thing I look at, even before the casting, is who wrote the screenplay.
I mean, his estate obviously signed off on it. And they did a movie in 2010... I want to say they did like a one-off Dirk Gently movie, which I still have not seen because I've not been able to get my hands on it. But so the estate is open to doing the properties, like even the Dirk Maggs, who does the audio stuff. They're doing like the last Hitchhiker's book,
right,
which was not written by Douglas Adams, was not very good, but I like the cast, so I'm hoping and I like his work. But
that's the thing. I can't name one time, not one single time, where an author passed away somebody else picked it up, even their own offspring or appointed person, and it was good.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single time.
No.
I mean, maybe it happened. I can't think of one.
I heard because someone did that with the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books. Some guy wrote a fourth, and
Yeah, where's our American second and third Dragon series? Where the
it
hell?
just didn't fly. I guess it didn't make enough money. I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
And I loved the books. Well, I loved the first book. The second was okay. The third was kind of draggy, in my opinion. But
well, I think he had. Well, let's not get into the issues of the author.
well, no, but I mean, yeah, but
But I think wasn't there one that was like kind of almost partial, almost done, but not quite, and then someone had to just.
no, it might have been
it
the
up?
third one. But
I can't remember.
but someone wrote another. Someone wrote another one. And they got, from what I understand, they got the style down pretty good. But
And what's the connection? What is the connection between the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Prometheus? Do you remember?
I do. She was the original Elizabeth Salander. Yeah.
That's right. That's
and she
right.
was fucking fantastic. Like, that's the thing. The Swedish versions are fucking great. Like, she was amazing in all of those. And that's where, that's where she came from, pretty much. That was where she blew
Who did the
up.
American one? Was it Fincher? I want to say it's Fincher who did the American.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the film. I thought it was.
Yeah, and Rooney Mara was really good. And, I mean, Daniel Craig, you can never go wrong with. So I enjoyed it. It was good.
Unless it's the last couple of Bond films. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
But going back, the Dirk Gently, the trailer, it looks fucking bizarre, but it should.
Yeah.
I see Dirk as a little older, but that's because they did an audio version of that, and the guy who played him was a little older. Harry Enfield, who's a famous British comedian. And so I kind of know what he looks like, and it's like, oh, and that's wrong. But it's got...
and that, going back to what we were talking about previously, that is somewhat the problem occasionally if you read a story before you see it. You have in your head, like, I know exactly what Jon Snow and Khaleesi and Dirk Gently looks like. And then you look at the screen and go, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch it first, and then you can kind of build it in your head. And at least for me, I'm able to separate it out. Like, I'll remember, but I see how it's described in the book, and I'm going that way.
the only time, the best interpretation of that ever, where they got the look of every character right, they got the casting perfect, was the Harry Potter books, believe it or not.
Okay.
Like when they first went into the Great Hall in Hogwarts in the movie, I was like, yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like in my head, and everybody says the same.
It's like, see, filmmakers, you can be true to the books and make a good film.
yeah, just
do it.
and let the author be part of it, and they'll get it right. They'll explain what's oh no, don't do it that way, do it this way, and it'll make everybody happy.
Exactly. Speaking of authors shaping things, you remember Stephen King's directorial debut, The Masterpiece.
His directorial debut,
Right.
I'm trying to think.
He hasn't directed anything since. It's
Is it one of his books?
It is.
I know he did The Shining. Like
He did not.
He.
I'm talking about directorial.
Okay, he rewrote the TV movie The Shining.
He did the TV Shining.
With-
He did not touch
no,
the Kubrick
no,
one,
of course
famously.
not. No, I don't remember which one.
Don't you remember his short story called Trucks? That was,
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he directed that.
And when I say masterpiece, I'm joking because it's a horrible,
terrible,
horrible film.
Yeah.
Well, he's coming back.
Is it?
Yeah, Stephen King is finally going to direct his second feature, and it's based on his story.
Medication time. Medication time.
We ran out of time. I will tell you next week.
The 9 Billion Names of Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Beni Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Loner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, Deep Thought, Big Brother, and Eddie, your shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Piranha Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the offices of Howard & Fine. Bruce Wayne lives in Batman's attic. Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shag Records, and it's a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Check us out on dadsgarageradio.net. Listen, watch on YouTube. Listen on SoundCloud. Stream us on Stitcher. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Or email us, comlink@billionpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bowman.
I'm Michael Reed.
Hello, Z.
Audio Primate.